Hey everyone, CtrlAble here. Today I want to dive into something a bit personal. My love for Final Fantasy, and why as a disabled Nintendo gamer, these games hold a special place in my heart. This one was actually requested by Multicraft 8319, so shout out to you. Whether it's the epic storytelling, the unique characters, or just being able to play on the go with a Nintendo console, Final Fantasy has always given me something beyond just entertainment. It's giving me accessibility, connection, and joy. Being a disabled gamer, accessibility is always a huge factor. Some games can feel impossible to enjoy because of the reaction time demand, confusing menus, or a lack of options to play at my own pace. Final Fantasy, particularly the classic and remake titles, often offer turn-based combat, adjustable speeds, and menus that you can navigate easily, which makes these games far more approachable. Take Final Fantasy IX for example. It's often overlooked between Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy X, but it has this whimsical, stylized world where combat is slow enough to think through, but yet still engaging. A slower turn-based system like this works beautifully on the Nintendo Switch, especially the Switch 2, because I can pause, plan, and enjoy the story without being rushed. What I love about Final Fantasy is how it blends story, music, and character development. The series isn't just about fighting monsters, it's about connecting with a cast of characters, each with their own quirks, struggles, and growth. Final Fantasy VII in its remake series brought massive attention, but Final Fantasy IX often gets overlooked. It's more playful and stylized with memorable characters like Zidane and Vivi, yet still packs an emotional punch. And for a disabled gamer that combines the strategic combat and story-driven pacing is golden. Plus, these games aren't just fun solo. Many of them are portable. Playing Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate or Final Fantasy IX on the Switch 2, that's a game changer for accessibility on the go. With the Nintendo Switch 2 on the horizon, there's so much potential for JRPGs like Final Fantasy to reach more players. Imagine slower combat systems like Final Fantasy IX's being perfectly suited for handheld play. You can take a long strategic battle on the train, in bed, or wherever without the pressure of split-second reaction. Multi-platform releases are also huge. Square Enix has already shown promise with the Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate port on Switch 2, and the rumors of an Final Fantasy IX Remake that could bring another classic to life with modern visuals, while keeping accessibility and turn-based combat intact. For someone like me, that combination of strategy, portability, and story is exactly why I keep coming back to the series. Recently, I've also been checking out games like Clair Obscur Expedition 3, which is drawing comparisons to classic JRPGs. Its combat blends turn-based systems with active elements, almost like Dark Souls for JRPG fans. And while I love it, it reminded me why I still adore Final Fantasy. Its turn-based roots, layered strategy, and emotional storytelling hit a sweet spot for accessibility that's more action-heavy RPGs often miss. Even in Clair Obscur, the pacing and complexity can be a barrier for disabled gamers, whereas Final Fantasy balances accessibility with depth. That's why it's timeless for me, and why I hope Nintendo and Square Enix keep prioritizing these kinds of games on consoles like the Switch 2. So why do I love Final Fantasy as a disabled gamer? Because it gives me strategy, story, and accessibility in a way very few games do. It's portable, it's inclusive, and it's timeless. The series has its highs and lows, but the moments of joy, connection, and immersion, they're unmatched. And looking forward, I'm excited to see what the Final Fantasy IX remake could bring, especially if it's true to its turn-based roots, works across platforms, and makes the Switch 2 an even better home for JRPGs on the go. Thanks for listening to my thoughts on why Final Fantasy holds a special place in my heart as a disabled gamer. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what's your favorite Final Fantasy game and why. I can't wait to hear your stories. And to Multicraft 8319, this one's for you.